Discover new opportunities together in a new Chevy. Meet up in an Equinox, winner of the J.D. Power Award for initial quality among compact SUVs. Lend a hand in the strong and capable Silverado, or mix it up in a high-tech Trax with an available 11-inch diagonal touchscreen. Find family, friends, and fun in the Chevy that's right for you. Click to learn more. Chevrolet, together let's drive. For J.D. Power 2023 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
This is the smell of the leftover tuna fish sandwich you left in your lunchbox over the weekend in a wimpy trash bag.
Wimpy, wimpy, wimpy!
Blech! And this is the smell of that same sandwich in a hefty, ultra-strong trash bag.
Hefty, hefty, hefty!
Ah, smell the difference? Hefty Ultra Strong has Arm & Hammer with continuous odor control, so no matter what's inside your trash, you can stay one step ahead of stinky. And for bigger jobs, try the superior strength of Hefty Large Black Bags.
Hey, what's going on? This is Tyler with Black Diamond Softball and Fitness, and I've got a brand new episode of the Foul Pole to Foul Pole podcast for you. Well, if you follow any of the softball forums on Facebook, recently I posed the question, what is the biggest money grab in youth softball? And, you know, it's sort of a vague question, and I do that when I post into those forums because I want to get a wide perspective. I don't want to kind of have a question that kind of garners the same response from people, or a question that won't allow people to elaborate. So if you see those, there's a ton of them out there, and they usually get a fairly good amount of responses. Sometimes people just pick out a couple of words, and that's the only words they read, and then they'll make a statement. Other people will go into great detail about their personal experience to answer a question. So with the question, what's the biggest money grab? I think you could remove the word youth softball and put in any sport. You can plug and play with this, and we would all agree that it costs a lot of money. Is it expensive? It depends on your definition of expensive. How much value are you getting out of it? There's a lot of good with all youth sports. We could run down the list. the health benefits and the emotional benefits and the mental benefits, and there's a whole bunch. But also with youth sports, there's that whole factor of the fear of missing out, A, and keeping up with the Joneses, B. So, it was a loaded question. Don't get me wrong. I knew that it was going to get a bunch of responses. I think initially I was looking at some of the responses, and let's talk about gate fees. Gate fees is one of those, low-hanging fruit, popular answers, if you will. But gate fees, that's sort of a loaded answer too, if you will. Now, just speaking in generalities here, what do gate fees cover? Different places, different towns, different areas, different parks use their gate fees for different reasons. Gate fees range from free, no gate fee, all the way up to who knows how high they get. I've seen down in Florida for the Space Coast World Series, I think you could buy the bands that were like 3 or 4 days worth or 5 days worth. I don't remember exactly how many days that tournament was, but I think it was like $75 a wristband, and you could get into anything that was going on. Keep that wristband on all week. So they were doing their U-Trip Pride games. They had the tournament was going on all week, so even if your team wasn't playing, you could get in and get out and this and that. So I think it was like $75. Some local tournaments, the 2 days and stuff like that, it's usually like just a blanket $10 to get in. $10 a day. So there would be some that's like 7 or 8, and depending on where you go, like the Shipyard down here in Mount Pleasant or in Charleston, I don't know the price of what they are. That's another 2-day tournament, 3-day tournament. I'm sorry, it's a 3-day tournament. I think it's $10 a pop. So for the 3 days, you're paying, $30. And then you have the kids that are usually cheaper. A lot of places don't charge for a kid. If they're playing, it doesn't matter if they're not playing. So the gate fees, I get it. But what does that money go to? One would think the upkeep of the facility, whether it's the lighting, it's the field crew, the maintenance, different things that are going on. So they have to make money somehow to keep that facility in existence. If they didn't charge a gate fee, or if they weren't getting money from somewhere else to offset the gate fee, how would the facility be there? I mean, you got to have lights, you got to have plumbing, you got to have trash services. There's a whole lot of expenses that go into running a facility, and I think for the majority of the places that do charge a gate fee, that's where the money goes. You have to charge a gate fee to pay for the personnel that's going to be there. There's a lot of people that are working behind the scenes to put these tournaments and put these events on. I did see some of the comments where we're talking about larger organizations. Larger organizations charging a fee to wear the name. I get that. I get that from not knowing. And there's different large organizations, and large organizations I have in air quotes. There are organizations throughout the country that charge a handsome fee just to wear the name, and you get nothing with it. You get nothing, and meaning, no support, if you will. No help with recruiting, no help with exposure, no help with coaching, mental training, guidance, anything like that. You wear that team name, and you pay to use the copyrighted name or the trademark name, or to say, hey, I'm in this organization. And I get that part of it. But I can also tell you there's organizations out there, national level organizations, that are across the country that have a huge support system. There are organizations out there that have weekly national coaches meetings where the head of the organization spends about an hour each week on a different topic, or the same topic from the week before, huge topics. There's a portion in there that talks about recruiting. Here's some recruiting tips. There's some experiences. And it's not just one person talking to everyone and say, hey, this is the way we're going to do it. These meetings are open format, meaning if you've got something to say of value, it gets put out there. These meetings are recorded, and they can be disseminated to anyone that wants them within the organization. There's also softball schools involved with the organization that talks about different things, from pitching to hitting to scenarios to recruiting to coaching to the mental aspect of it. There's different events that go on throughout the year within these organizations. There's camps that are associated with different colleges, D1, D2, D3, that if just because you're a player in this organization, you get this opportunity. There's spring training events, there's winter training events, there's all different kinds of things that go on with these organizations. It's ran like it is a business. 100% it is a business. It's a legitimate business, but it opens up different doors. It opens up opportunities. There's different things that being a part of a big organization provides. And, we go back to the cost of it, as far as the money grab aspect. If you don't take advantage of all the opportunities that joining a big organization has to offer, then yeah, I can see that it's a money grab from the outside. If you've never been exposed to it and you don't know what goes on with it, then yeah, from the outside, I can see how you would say that it's a money grab. Oh, you're paying $2,500 a year just to wear the name. And there's some organizations that are like that. But then there's the other ones that I'm talking about, that $2,500 or whatever it is for the year, it doesn't have to be paid up front. It can be paid monthly like a subscription. But what does that give you? What does that offer you? Yeah, you get to wear the name, but you also have these different schools, these different programs, these different things that are a part of it. So when you're running a 10 team or a 10 person roster, that's ever how much, $250 for the year. If you're running a 15 person roster, it's like $180 a year, $175 a year, whatever it is. So, if there's value in that, there's some people that look at it, well, that's a steal. It's only X amount of dollars. Wow, I thought it'd be more than that. So I get both sides of it. There's a lot that just say, there's big organizations that are ruining the game. Those big organizations are also, by default, the voice between, or the connection between, youth softball and softball at the collegiate level. That's just the nature of the beast. That's a different topic for a different story or for a different day. But, I understand from not knowing what these major organizations can bring to the table, how that would make you be like, what, these organizations, it's just a money grab. I get that. Another one of the big topics is lessons and instructors that are charging way too much and not getting any value. You could have a daughter that you send to lessons and you don't get the results right away, and it's $50 an hour, $80 an hour, $150 an hour, whatever that dollar amount is, and you can say it's not worth this, it's just a money grab for that instructor. And it very well could be. But coming from an instructor side of it, as an instructor, if you're not providing good instruction and kids aren't getting something out of it, kids and parents can't see the value, or they're not getting anything out of it, then yes, it is a money grab. And if you're doing it the wrong way, and you're out there and it is just a money grab, then one of these days karma's going to catch up to you. But I know instructors that, in my eyes, in my view, they don't charge enough for the value of their work. And a lot of it, at the end of the day, comes from people will send their kids to an instructor thinking they're going to take this $2 work ethic and pay $100 an hour, thinking that they're going to change a swing or change a pitch or make my kid a superstar. And unfortunately, that's not what instructors are there for. And instructors, at the end of the day, are there to help guide and mold via a program to help your kid maximize their potential. If your kid has, just the potential is not there for whatever reason, they're not destined to be a softball superstar, but you're paying the same amount of money as someone that is destined to be a softball superstar, and they don't become a softball superstar overnight, then yeah, I can see where the value just isn't there. And you're going to say instructors or hitting instructors or pitching instructors are the biggest money grab. And there's a bunch of them out there. There's a bunch of instructors out there that have no idea what they're doing, and they're just doing it for the money. So I get that. I understand that completely. On top of that, you have these events that are showcase, and people put on these showcase events, and they'll put a bunch of different names out there, and they'll say, hey, so-and-so is going to be here. All these teams are going to be here. These coaches are going to be there. And it'll be a Friday camp in the fall. Well, the fall recruiting window for Division I is 6 weeks long, and it only allows for Saturdays and Sundays off campus recruiting. So if you're telling people that that Division I coach is going to be there at your camp on Friday, well, that's just a flat out lie. Unfortunately, people don't know that. People don't understand the recruiting window. People don't understand Division I. So we're out there telling people, these colleges are going to be here, and they're not. And even if you're running a camp or a showcase event on a Saturday and a Sunday, and you've only sent invitations out to these schools, and you put on a list like, hey, these coaches are going to be there, but you haven't confirmed that, but you're telling people that, oh yeah, that's a huge money grab. So you got teams that don't have a whole lot of money that thinking, okay, well, this is $1,000 tournament, but it's 2 days, it's 6 games guaranteed in front of Division I coaches or Division II coaches. When you get there, there's 6 coaches total, and they're all on one field because they're all looking at one player. You've lied to the parents, you've lied to the kids. It's incredible. I see the fees in general when it comes to putting on these type of events, and you've got a bunch of people coming from all over. These tournament directors are pocketing a lot, or at least on the outside, that's what it looks like. Because if you're going to pay people to show up to the event, and they don't, or you're telling people that these people are coming, and you're not coming out of your pocket to do that, and you're pocketing all these entry fees, as tournament directors, that's the low hanging fruit for people to say, well, why they pocket this money, and it's not hard to ask an umpire or get out of an umpire what their fee is, or, per game, this and that. So tournament directors, they got to say, well, we got to pay this, got to pay this, got to pay this, got to pay this. We make nothing on the end. There's a bunch of tournament directors out there that this is their quote unquote full-time / part-time job because they're able to make enough money doing it. So I don't want to get into the weeds too far on that, but as far as tournament directors selling a bill of goods to teams and organizations is one of the biggest things when it comes to the showcases, saying that, hey, these people are going to be here, these people are going to be here. They don't actually end up showing up. So that's another one. And the stay and plays with these events, these big time events, I get from a parent side, from a coach side, from an instructor side, I get the stay and play because you're in these popular areas, these travel destination type tournaments, and you're working with the community. You're getting involved with these different hotels and saying, hey, we have a big event coming on. Can we lock in some low rates to draw in more people to get them to come? And you scratch my back, I scratch yours. In this day and age with the Airbnbs and stuff, and you got a lot of savvy people that are trying to save as much money as they can and do different things. It turns people off if it's a stay and play tournament, because you've got, just in my experience, I have a five person family, and staying in a hotel for 5 weeks, sharing a washer and a dryer on the 3rd floor, or the parking and the this and the that, and all the stuff that goes into these stay and play, wanting to stay in a hotel or having to stay in a hotel, it turns me off. I don't want to do that. If I'm going to stay for a week at these events, these big events, I know we're not going to be playing softball the entire time. I want to be able to come and go and do what I want, have access to certain things like going on a vacation, because let's face it, families are doing that now. These big summer events that are going on, families are rolling their vacations into their destination travel softball tournaments. And I don't want to be forced to stay somewhere I don't want to. And on top of that, I don't want to pay some egregious gross fee of having to buy my way out of it because I don't want to stay there. So I get that side of the stay and play. On the flip side of that, is it a money grab to everyone? No, definitely not. Because I think on some aspect it is a good thing, and it is good for other people to know that, hey, this hotel is there. They've blocked off rooms for the team. We can all stay close together. We can stay, here all in one spot. It's easy for the coaches to get all the players in one spot. Travel and communication to and from the ballpark, that kind of stuff. I get it. So to some, it's not a money grab. It actually makes things easier for them. But to each their own. For me, in my situation, no, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to make my own decision where I want to stay for my accommodations. But for others, makes it easier. Boom, let's get it and go. This past year, we did both down in Atlanta. That's what we did. It was a stay and play. We didn't buy out of it and have, get our own Airbnb or get our own hotel room, whatever. We just went and stayed with the team. This is the fee we paid. That way it worked out cheaper for everybody, this and that. So being that I am in Conway, South Carolina, and I stay close to Myrtle Beach, there's a lot of stay and play events that are down here. We just let the directors know that, hey, there's our team. We're all within, a short distance from Myrtle Beach. We're not staying to play. We can stay at our own house. We're 25 minutes from it or whatever. So, if you've got any money grab opinions that, are out there that you say, hey, this is a money grab. It is, it's an open forum anywhere. If you look on my page, on the Facebook page, Black Diamond Softball and Fitness, that's where it's at. Go over there, drop an opinion, drop a comment on there. Make sure you like the page too. It's there. It's a good topic to have because I think it shows not necessarily a frustration, but I think it shows how expensive this past year was for a lot of people and where they think some money was wasted, where they think they spent money and they didn't receive a value or they didn't get the value that they thought they were going to get out of the money that was spent. It's difficult to throw blanket statements in general in life anyway. But when you have a sport like softball that is all the way at the tippity top in popularity right now as far as youth sports are concerned, and it's up in the Northeast, it's down in the Southeast, it's in the Midwest, it's in the heart of the country, it's up in Washington State, it's in the lower parts of California. So it stretches all over. We have teams in Hawaii. There's softball in Alaska. The entire country has softball, and it's great. It's popular. So when it's so big and it's so popular, you have so many people involved or at least exposed to softball. We have these different opinions on money. Because let's face it, everything is expensive nowadays. And with it being December, we get a chance to look back on softball for the year. Where did our money go? Because at the end of the day, there's a bunch of money spent. It doesn't matter if you just stay local, you play local, and you just play travel in your local area, or if you're one of those big-time national type travel teams that you go around because you're 16, 18U and you're getting girls into college and this and that, and the expenses are involved in that, different camps, different this, all these events that are going on. And there's thousands of dollars that go out. There's a lot of money out there. A lot of it has a lot of value. There's a lot of value in it. But our parents getting the most bang for their buck where they feel they should. Of course, we covered the gate fees. I think to me the gate fees are low hanging fruit. Matter of fact, the first thing my wife said when I asked her what's the biggest money grab in softball, the first thing out of her mouth was gate fees. But then, as we discussed, I said, well, depending on the location, depending on what even what sports you're in, gate fees, there is. You're getting something out of the gate fee. I hope. I may be naive, but to me, we got to pay for the field maintenance and this and that. Now, of course, I understand that there are places that there is no maintenance. The fields don't get raked. The lines don't get chalked, and we're paying $10, $15, $20 to get in. I understand that, and that is a huge money grab. But for every one of those type of places, there are places out there where between every single game, the fields are getting raked, they're getting drugged, they're getting relined. The dugouts are getting clean. There's people. There's never a full trash can. There's a lot of stuff going on. And what if those places, all those people are getting paid by the gate fees? So I can see both sides of it. You know, and on top of that, you know, I'll end it with this: the equipment that we need, gloves, bats, masks, balls, and everything in between. I would love to try to name all the equipment needed to play the game of softball, but there's just no way. I'll forget half the stuff. But the big ticket items like your gloves, your mask, your bats, your cleats, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, bats $400, $500, $600, and parents were willing to pay that because a $500 bat can fix Susie's $2 swing. So you couple a $500-$600 bat with $100 batting lessons, with thousands in team dues and fees and stuff like that. All of a sudden, it's expensive. Some parents are willing to pay it, some parents aren't. At the end of the day, as long as there's value in whatever you're spending your money on, we'll continue to spend that kind of money on it. There's no doubt. There's absolutely no doubt. The popularity of the sport, we can look at TV numbers. Look at coming up here in February, you have the Clearwater Invitational. That has grown tremendously over the past few years. It's a huge event. A lot of people are going to be going down there. You get all tournament passes. It's like, I think it's at least 3 days. Maybe, I think, does it start? I think it goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday. A bunch of the Power 5 schools, a lot of D1 schools are down there, sort of like a tune-up for the season, if you will. So you talk in February, and then softball just runs all of spring, and it's on ESPN, it's on ACC, it's on the Pac-12, it's all these networks. So the popularity of the sport is there, it's growing. The root of that is the youth sports. And there's a lot of people that thought that the sport died down because of rec dying down. But you look at the popularity of travel sports. Well, travel sports cost more than rec sports because of the travel element that's involved in it. It's not backed by a town. It's not backed by a city. It's not backed by a recreation department for the most part, for the majority. I know there are some out there that are. But you got parents that are willing to fundraise or come out of pocket to pay whatever fee, whatever due it is to get Susie on a team, to get her the exposure, get her the experience, to get her the skills that hopefully one day is the national pitcher of the year for college, or the next Jocelyn Allo, or the Jordy Ball, or whatever. So money grabs are going to be there. Doesn't matter what sport you're in. Doesn't matter what endeavor is out there. If you pay money, there's something that you're paying money for that you think you're paying too much for. A car, a cell phone, house, whatever you're into. If you're into fishing or into boating or four-wheeling or whatever you're into, there's something where you go, you know what? I have to pay this to keep up with the Joneses. Everybody else is paying this. No one else likes paying it, but we're all paying it to be able to do what we're doing. That's how life is in general. But just for the softball side of it, there's a lot of money grabs out there. And I appreciate all the opinions. My opinion isn't more valuable than anyone else's opinion. I just put the question out there, and I've gotten hundreds of comments across the board here. I don't think it's going away. I think it's just going to get more expensive. I don't think there's going to be enough that are going, hey, it's too expensive, we're going to boycott it. I don't know what boycotting it'll do, but there's a lot out there. So that's just my 2 cents on it. That's my opinion on it. Please go to my Facebook page, leave a comment on there, let me know what you think the biggest money grab is in youth sports, in youth softball. It doesn't matter. You can put any sport, but, it's on the softball forums out there. If you go to the Fast Pitch Talk or the Fast Pitch Zone, it's on both of those. And then the Coaching Tips and Drills, Mike Zimmer's page, it's out there. So leave me an opinion or comment here wherever you're getting it, whether it's Spotify, iTunes, wherever you're listening to the podcast at. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Leave it in the review, whatever it is. And if you think somebody that you know would get some value out of this, make sure you share it. And when you share it with them, make sure you tell them you love them.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.